Hey guys, it's Dave. I exited my CORT, my Corcept Therapeutics trade today. My trailing stop loss was hit, and I exited. Overall, on trade ideas here, here's a single stock window. I like the short float name. So this one has around a 24% short float now, 18 days to cover. So that means if all the shorts were to cover at one point in time with limited buying or additional buying, it would take them around 19 days to cover all of their position. That's a long time. So we have a lot of shorts propping the stock up at the moment. Um, and so that's what kind of led me to analyze the name. But really, what took me to to take the setup was the look of the chart, right? So let's take a look at the chart. Um, Zooming out here, you can see what got me interested was this bar right here on 930. Look at the volume down here. So we had increased volume. This was a breakout here. Okay. So this broke out. I don't chase initial breakouts. Larger funds, larger, bigger fish in the pond, much larger than me. They use these breakouts as a source of liquidity. So they'll sell into this because they know people are chasing this. And so that's why I wait for the retest. That's why I wait for time and the price to spend time above levels that break, because otherwise it could just be a look above and fail. So a stop run, distribute some inventory, and then come right back down. And so this is a breakout with a price correction to the 10 EMA. Okay, so I entered right here on this green day on 10/4. Put my stop loss just below the 10 EMA, and I held it until it started moving. I did hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, so about a week and a half of trading days before it started to move. Ideally, I thought this red bar here on 10/7, this guy right here, it looked like it was going to push higher because it opened, push higher, and then just sold right back down. I actually thought I was going to get stopped out because of that type of move. But it undercut this day, closed back in, and then just bought right back up the next day. So it really just ranged within this 46.20 to 44.40. And bounced in there, broke a range, and then it broke out. And so let me show you how I did it, the specifics of things. So again, we have a increased volume, breakout. This is of all-time highs. I like to anchor VWAP from the breakout bar. I also anchored a VWAP from the high of the follow. So the highs, basically, you can see they basically cross. So I use the VWAPs to gauge who's who and who's where, and just basically manage price here. So my entry here was right here on the circle. Entry price was 45.24, somewhere around there. You can see red line here, anchor VWAP or VWAP of the day. I enter over VWAP. Spend some time in the morning, kind of collecting. All right, undercuts that low, comes right back up into value area, and chops around VWAP for that day, and then starts moving above. So that's where I entered. It was close to this white line, which is the 10 EMA, and I put my stop loss at 44.06. Another reason was why, if this breakout were to fail, this huge breakout bar, it should not fail. It should not give back that entire move if demand is enough and buyers are in place, or if supply is that limited because of this huge short float. If there's any supply or demand here, shorts are going to see that and they'll be the first ones to cover. And so that covering creates this balance in here. And this balance, price balance, allows longs to be more confident that price isn't it's finding stability. So price isn't just going to collapse down, and it has a potential to head higher as the supply continues to dry up, and the supply demand shifts, basically. Less supply, more demand. And yeah, so I entered there and stop loss here. I held it for a few days. and finally got a nice move out of it. And then how I exited is we had, let me go back to the daily here. I was super hopeful. That's why you don't drink hopium, folks. So we have another breakout here of this nice base. Okay, that right. So we had a little breakout and it closed back in. And I was thinking this could potentially fail because it's just acting like a stop run. But the next day, broke out, huge volume, big volume. That's exactly what you like to see on a breakout. And so on this breakout day, I was like, all right, well, obviously, I'm thinking there's going to be sellers, right? Who wouldn't take profit doing this? So I was expecting some selling. What I did, this white line here, okay, I anchored a VWAP to the breakout, and then I watched to see how price reacted to it. The next day, it just sold off, chopped around the VWAP, okay, and then I set a stop loss. Actually, I didn't move my TSL yet. My trailing stop loss, TSL, trailing stop loss. The next day, it found value. I'm like, you know what? I should probably, this is finding balance here. If price breaks below this, we're going to have quite a few trapped longs in here, and that could potentially create more supply to drive price down. And so because it didn't have a quicker follow through, I moved my trailing stop loss up to below this bar right there. Why? Because I like this big old green bar on the half hour. Look at the volume. Okay. So in my mind, if this move were to sustain, it would set some sort of higher low here. Okay. It's set some sort of higher low based off of this or this area. And it did here. And I was considering this a higher low, a potential higher low, before, if it consolidated and wanted to move up and create a higher high. So I moved my stop loss up, to a trailing stop loss, and just I was in profit. And today you can obviously see it just got smacked down. Now this could be another breakout, a breakout with another 10 EMA pullback setup here. It's got a decent profile here, right? However, what I don't like that it gave a good majority. Oh, look at this. Hang on. What's this low? 47.56. 47.58. That's pretty wild. So it wasn't able to break the low of the breakout day. But either way, I don't like that it was able to give the entire move back over the last 3 days. Ideally, we do see decreased volume on the selling, right? So this might, with the bottoming tail and the tag of 10 EMA, we might get a little volume, a little bit more demand here. If there's buying, well, there seems to be buying at the 10 EMA there, right? So we might, let me look at the volume profile again. Yeah, nice little B profile. So there is probably some collection here. This could be shorts covering from the break of these lows. It could be a short covering because there's a huge short flow, and this is the only potential they have to see supply, or potential to see supply to cover into. Either way, it's under the VWAP from the breakout day. It's under the VWAP from the second day, and it broke the higher low that I was anticipating. So I wasn't going to let the gains that I already had from this nice move and from me holding. I wasn't about to let it go negative on me or break even for the amount of time I was holding it for. It already didn't move as quick as I wanted it to, but it was setting up nicely to move. I wanted a quicker move by day 2 or 3 of the consolidation. Market obviously doesn't care what I want, and I know that, and so that's why I manage my risk. So I moved TSL up 48.30. I was triggered at 48.12 this morning, $48.12, probably within this first half hour bar that got that big old whip out there, for a nice 2.47 R gain. That's how I did it. That's how I managed it. Hopefully it makes sense. A little bit makes sense to you guys. Hopefully you can take away from what I am sharing. It's a nice review process for myself to see what I'm doing, hear myself, how I'm thinking, to see if it makes sense. and to see if I'm actually following my rules that I create for myself, and the process that works for me. This could, so potential future wise, it broke out. Okay, I'm just going to act that there. It broke out of that. Now it is coming back down. This could be a breakout and retest setup here. If that low wants to hold, maybe it chops sideways a little bit, kind of retests this 48.60 level where these trapped longs could be, and finds supply, and it just kind of consolidates at these new highs and wants to continue to trend on up. Or it could just pull back. It could fall right back into this range in here, and then maybe opposite end target. I don't know why this is. I don't know what that is. I forget. And then maybe opposite. If it falls back in here, target could be at least halfway point around 45.90 ish or so. 45.80, 45.90, and then if that fails, we have target all the way at the opposite end around 44. So we'll see how price acts. Stay safe, manage your risk. Hopefully these are helpful. If you like them, like, enjoy, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. Appreciate your time. Stay safe out there. Manage your risk. Trade tomorrow. Later.